and welcome back to our daily discussion regarding the current affairs. As I had started this series a month ago related the current affairs from last 1 year, and we were discussing about the international relations and the developments which had happened since one last 1 year. So today we have to discuss the 10th class related to it, and uh, uh, I, I'm sorry to say that I was not uploading these videos regularly because of some personal work. So from today I will try to upload and cover all the important topics before our exams. So, without wasting any time, let's move to the discussion and let's move to the topic. This is about India Gulf Cooperation Council relations. Here we have to see how our relation is has been and what are the developments in it. By reading the heading here, we can see that the Parliamentary Standing Committee on External Affairs they recommended legal assistance to Indian nationals imprisoned in Gulf Cooperation Council. So, why this news we are discussing? It is related to the 8 Indian Navy personnel which were held in Qatar, and how India was successful in securing them back to India, and as by going to the background of that, how Qatar government they they planned the execution because they were held guilty in a certain case, and they were ordered to be executed, and how India interfered in it and how they brought those personnel back. So regarding this topic we have to discuss this, and we have to discuss our relation, and we have to discuss how these inmates in these countries, how India helps them, and how this relationship goes with these Gulf Cooperation Council. So as here we can see, over 8,000 Indians are currently imprisoned in foreign jails, and out of these, more than 4,600 Indian prisoners, including under trials, are currently lodged in jails of Gulf countries. So from here we can see the ratio of the Indian citizens which are in the Gulf jails, and also about the naval of personnel which were sentenced to death by a court in Qatar, and how how India was successful in securing them back. They were charged regarding which case they were charged with allegedly spying for Israel. So let's move forward and discuss what are other things in it and what we have to remember, and how it may be asked in the exam, in mains, or in the prelims which is coming very soon. So before going to this topic, we should know about the Gulf Council cooperation. We should know the countries which are the part of it. As we can see it from the slide, GCC, it is a political and economic alliance of 6 countries in the Gulf region, and the countries are Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, Kuwait, Oman, and Bahrain. So it should be noted that Iran and Iraq they are not the members, and also we should know that it was established in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia in 1981, and as it is in the Gulf region, so it is obvious that its official language is Arabic. About now, the second topic, which is the subtopic of it, how India's legal assistance uh, is abroad, how India helps its citizens in providing the legal assistance when they are caught up in some case or something related to judiciary. Here we should know that Indian missions provide initial legal assistance to distressed Indians if if they if he is unable to afford such legal help or on his own. Such initial legal assistance may include, so this Indian mission, they provide this initial legal assistance to the distressed Indians if they are not able to afford such legal help. So what is this legal assistance? It includes financial assistance provided to file or to fight a case. It helps in it is kind of an interpreter. It provides interpreter facilities where language is a barrier, and also Indian mission may suggest ex empaneled NGOs which provide assistance consultation in litigation process. So these are the ways through which Indian missions provide the initial legal assistance. They may help in financial barriers. They may help in interpreting the in interpreting where a language is a barrier, and they suggest empaneled NGOs who provide assistance consultation in litigation process. Further, we should know that the only legal assistance is provided. Indian mission does not fight court cases by itself. They do not fight court cases by itself, and also expenditure on lawyers fees is paid from Indian Community Welfare Fund. So the fee which they pay to the lawyers who are taking up the cases of Indians, it is paid from the Indian Community Welfare Fund. Also about ICWF, ICWF is used to provide legal assistance, boarding and lodging assistance, emergency medical care, air passage to stranded Indians, and transportation of mortal remains of Indian nationals if anybody dies outside India. Also, legal financial assistance to Indian women uh, deserted by overseas Indians, foreign nationals, or and etc. Also, persons of Indian origin and overseas citizens of India card holders are not eligible for individual financial assistance from ICWF. We should know that such questions may be asked, who are the eligible for ICWF. We should know that persons of Indian origin and overseas citizens of India card holders, they are not eligible for the individual financial assistance from ICWF. About India GCC relations, we should know that first let us see what is the geostrategic. India has strategic interest with GCC countries due to its proximity to important maritime trade route and its role in countering terrorism and extremism. About diaspora, the Gulf has the largest number of Indians abroad, about half of Indian NRIs. Also, GCC countries are the second most prominent contributors to India's remittance inflow. About economic, we should know that Gulf Cooperation is currently India's largest trading partner, work about one-sixth of India's total trade. Also, UAE is India's third largest trade partner, while Saudi Arabia is at the fourth place. About energy security, we should know that GCC countries contribute almost 35% of India's oil imports and 70% of gas imports. About defense, India has strong bilateral agreements in the region, such as the defense agreement with Qatar and intelligence sharing with UAE, Saudi Arabia, and Oman. And also, we support at international forums. India's firm stand against terrorism has been acknowledged by GCC countries like UAE, Oman, and Bahrain have conveyed support to India's claim for a permanent seat at reformed UN Security Council. Also, we have collaboration in space. Also, India has also space cooperation with Saudi Arabia, Oman, and other GCC countries. For example, PSLV vehicle launched the UAE's first nano satellite, which is Naif 1, to collect environmental space data. So this Naif 1, it may be asked, they may ask in your prelims, this nano satellite belongs to which country? So we should know that it belongs to UAE. Now let's see what are the challenges to our relationship. Here we can see the Gulf region. There are regional crisis. There are wars between Iran, Saudi Arabia rivalry. We have Yemen civil war. We have Syrian civil war. We have spillover effects, and we have security concerns. For example, right now Houthi rebels, they are attacking the cargo ships. We have Israel Gaza war. So even though they are not the part of this region, they are not part of the GCC, but their impact is seen around this region. Also, we have geopolitical constraints as Pakistan's strong political consistency in West Asia, fueled by the Islamic identity and military ties, gives it a favorable political balance in the region compared to India. Also, Chinese influence, it is a big issue. We have geo-economic issues. The oil and gas prices, along with the rising costs of war conditions, led to economic slowdown in Arab Gulf economies. Salary cuts, layoffs, and nationalization of workforce at the cost of the expatriate community. Now, let's move to the next topic of today's discussion. It is about Indian Maritime Organization, International Maritime Organization. About International Maritime Organization, we should discuss few points which we have to remember. United Nations Specialized Agency established. It is a United Nations Specialized Agency established in 1948 when the adoption of IMO with the adoption of IMO Convention. What is its purpose? To promote safe, secure, environmentally sound, efficient, and sustainable shipping through cooperation. What is its structure? It consists of an assembly, a council, and five main committees and a number of subcommittees. What are five main committees? We have Maritime Safety Committee, we have Maritime Environment Protection Committee, we have Legal Committee, we have Technical Cooperation Committee, and Facilitation Committee. It has 175 member states and 3 associate members, and we should know that India is a member state. Why it was introduced? India was re-elected to the International Maritime Organization Council with the highest tally at elections held for the 2024-25 biennium. About IMO Council, it is an executive organ of IMO and responsible for IMO Council. It is the executive organ of IMO and it is responsible for supervising the work of the organization. It is made up of 40 member states elected by the Assembly for 2 years term. Its members are divided into three categories. Here we should know that category A, which is state with interest in providing international shipping services. Then we have category B, states with interest in international seaborne trade. India was re-elected in this category, state with interest in international seaborne trade. And also category C, it is states with special interest in maritime transport or navigation and whose election will ensure the representation of all major geographic areas of the world. What is the significance of IMO? Here we should know that it helps in environmental protection, prevention of pollution from ships. IMO's Morpol Convention is a key treaty to prevent and minimize pollution from shipping. It addresses oil and chemical pollution from ships, protecting marine biodiversity by preventing the spread of potentially invasive aquatic organisms. It addresses noise pollution. IMO guidelines on reducing underwater noise from commercial shipping. We have climate change mitigation. IMO was the first international regulator for a transport sector to adopt mandatory energy efficiency ensure measures for international shipping. It addresses dumping of waste at sea. IMO adopted London Dumping Convention and Protocol on the dumping of waste and other matter at sea. The convention also regulates carbon capture and sequestration in subsea geological formation, sewage discharge, and disposal of ship-generated garbage. Also, it provides maritime safety and security of merchant ships. IMO adopted the International Convention for the Safety of Life, SOLAS Convention, 1974. It specifies minimum standards for the construction, equipment, and operation of ships for their safety. it, it helps in prevent piracy and armed robbery against ships, provides assistance to member states to develop their national or regional measures to address piracy, for Djibouti Code of Conduct around the Western Indian Ocean, suppression of unlawful activities, treaties, international legal framework enabling action on unlawful acts committed against ships, and helps in checking drug smuggling. IMO's Maritime Safety Committee and Facilitation Committee cooperate to prevent drug smuggling on international ships. Now, let's move to our third important topic of today's discussion. It is India and Kenya relations. Why it was in news? We should know that Kenya's president he paid the state visit to India to boost bilateral relationship. What are the key highlights of this visit of Kenya's president? A joint vision document was unveiled to scale up maritime engagement in the Indian Ocean region to address issues such as piracy, drug trafficking, and terrorism. India, which also announced a US 250 million line of credit to Kenya for modernization of the agriculture sector. So we should know that India is very much contributor in the development of the African region. Also, line of credit is a soft loan, not a grant, provided at concessional interest rates to developing countries. What are the key aspects of the bilateral relations? We have diplomatic. Kenya is a strong partner in the East African Community or EAC, which what who are the other countries in this region? We have Burundi, DR, Democratic Republic of Congo, we have Rwanda, we have Uganda, we have South Sudan and Tanzania, with which India has signed cooperation agreement in 2003. Also, Kenya is part of India's approach to emerge as the voice of global South. About trade, bilateral trade currently is around 3.3 billion USD under India-Kenya Trade Agreement of 1981. Both countries accorded most favored nation status to each other. Also under the WTO agreement, MFN principle emphasizes that countries cannot normally discriminate between their trading partners. We have the double taxation avoidance agreement signed in 1989, which was revised in 2016 and came into force in 2017. We have maritime cooperation. Both are members of Indian Ocean Rim Association. We have people contact. Approximately 80,000 people of Indian origin are present in Kenya, and India is one of the third largest sources of inbound tourists to Kenya. Also, Kenyan nationals avail training and scholarships programs in various fields under the Indian Technical and Economic Cooperation Program, India Africa Forum Summit, and Aid to Africa program. Here we should know that the location of Kenya, who are it is close neighboring countries. We should know that Ethiopia, Somalia, South Sudan, Uganda, Rwanda, Tanzania, these are its neighboring countries. Such questions usually UPSC asks such questions, and this region is very important for this year's prelims exam. Now let's move to our next topic. It is about India Oman uh, as they adopt a vision document to expand ties. What is this vision document? A joint vision document titled "A Partnership for the Future" was adopted during the visit of the Sultan of Oman. What it does, it acknowledges the remarkable synergy between Oman Vision 240 and India's development objectives under Amrit Kaal. We should know that digital connectivity, medical tourism, maritime security, hospitality, space, agriculture, and food security are some of the areas that the vision document has focused upon. About India-Oman relationship, we should know that Oman is a crucial pillar of India's West Asia policy. Oman is a strategic partner of India since 2008 and an important interlocutor at the Gulf Cooperation Council, Arab League, and India Ocean Rim Association Forum. Oman has a large Indian diaspora of 7 lakh people. Bilateral trade more than doubled from US 5.4 billion in 2021 to 12.3 billion in 2022-23. Also, India was the second largest market for Oman's crude exports for the year 2022 after China. We should know that in October 2022, India and Oman launched the Rupee debit card in Oman. Oman will play an important role in proposed India Middle East Europe Economic Corridor infrastructure project. Now, India and Colombo Security Conclave. This is the next topic. India attended sixth National Security Advisor level meeting of Colombo Security Conclave held in Mauritius. About it, what are the key developments? Uh, they agreed on roadmap of activities for 2024 in the face of traditional, non-traditional, and emerging hybrid challenges in the Indian Ocean region. Non-traditional security issues are challenges that arise primarily out of non-military sources such as climate change, infectious diseases, natural disasters, and others. Announced launch of Ocean Information Service Portal, and portal aims to facilitate exchange of oceanographic information. About Columbus Security Conclave, it was formed in 2011 as a trilateral maritime security grouping of India, Sri Lanka, and Maldives. Later, Mauritius joined as fourth member, and Bangladesh and Seychelles as observer countries. It has permanent secretariat based in Colombo to coordinate activities and implement decisions. Significance of CSC in line with vision of security and growth for all in the region, Sagar and neighborhood first policy. It provides a cooperative, environmental and collaborative mechanism in maritime neighborhood of IOR, Indian Ocean region. These are the five pillars of CSC, which is maritime safety and security, countering terrorism and radicalization, combating trafficking and transnational organized crime, cybersecurity and protection of critical infrastructure, and humanitarian assistance and disaster relief. Now, let's move to the next topic, which is UN Commission for Social Development, abbreviated as UN COST. Here we should know that Ruchira Kamboj, who is India's permanent representative to the United Nations, he member state briefing in preparation for the 42nd UN Commission for Social Development, 62nd UN Commission for Social Development in to be held in Feb, which happened in Feb 2024. About the UN Commission for Social Development, we should know it was established by Economic and Social Council in 1946 as the Social Commission and renamed as CSOCD in 1966, Commission for Social Development. Economic and Social Council, under the overall authority of the UN General Assembly, coordinates the economic and social work of the UN. It is membership 46 members who are elected by ECOSOC based on equitable geographic distribution. Bureau members are elected by the Commission and comprises a chair and four vice chairs. Elected officers serve for a term of office of 2 years. What is its key role? It promotes social policies that support the overall development goals of the UN, particularly in relation to eradicating poverty, advancing social integration, and ensuring full employment and decent work for everyone. It is in charge of implementation of the Copenhagen Declaration and Program of Action adopted in the World Summit for Social Development in 1995. Also, each year the CSOCD adopts a priority theme and an emerging issue to guide its work and discussion. About theme for this 62nd session is fostering social development and social justice through social policies to accelerate progress on the implementation of the 2030 Agenda of Sustainable Development and to achieve the overarching goal of poverty eradication. India's membership in Feb 2023, India took on the chair of the 62nd session of COSG for first time since 1975. Now, IMO launched Project Prayas, International Organization Migration. It launched Project Prayas project, which is project promoting regular assisted migration for youth and skilled professionals. This project was launched in partnership with the Ministry of External Affairs for the year 2023-24. So this is very important. We should know about that. Prayas, it is project promoting regular assisted migration for youth and skilled professionals. It was launched by International Organization for Migration. About international organization, about international organization for migration, they launched project Prayas, which is project promoting regular assisted migration for youth and skilled professionals. The project it was launched in partnership with Ministry of External Affairs for the year 2023-24. Its objective is to facilitate safe, orderly, and regular migration for aspiring Indian migrant workers and students in collaboration with Ministry of External Affairs and Niti Aayog and state governments. This project will promote dissemination of communication materials on safe and orderly migration pathways, and also India has a large diaspora with over 32 million spread across the globe. Also, India is the world's largest recipient of remittance. Let's see what are the problems faced by Indian diaspora abroad: wage insecurity, casual work arrangement, lack of social protection and skill gaps, poor working conditions, absence of a proper grievance redressal mechanism, and access to a transparent judicial system. Also, International Organization for Migration. It is an intergovernmental organization with an United Nations system in the field of migration. It is mandated for promoting human and orderly migration for the benefit of all. It has 175 member states, including India. The reports published by it are World Migration Report. It was established in 1951 and it is headquartered in Geneva. Now, let us discuss about Article 99 of UN Charter. Here, we should know UN Security General invoked Article 99 of UN Charter to warn UN Security Council of impending humanitarian crisis in Gaza. About Article 99, it states that the Secretary General may bring to the attention of Security Council any matter which is, in his opinion, may threaten the maintenance of international peace and security. Also, Article 99 has been invoked on only 4 occasions in the past. UN Charter is a founding document of United Nations. It was signed in 1945 in San Francisco. It codifies major principles of international relations like sovereign equality of states and etc. Now let's move to our next topic, which is 75th anniversary of UDHR. It is motivated by past world wars. Universal Declaration of Human Rights was approved by the UN General Assembly on December 10, 1948. It is this topic is about the 75th anniversary of Universal Declaration of Human Rights. It is key feature. It recognizes that the inherent dignity of all members of the human family is the foundation of freedom, justice, and peace in the world. It declares that human rights are universal, to be enjoyed by all people no matter who they are or where they live. Universal Declaration of Human Rights, together with the following international covenants, make up International Bill of Human Rights, International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, International Covenant on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights, It outlines 30 fundamental rights encompassing civil and political rights such as the right to life, liberty, and privacy. Also, economic, social, and cultural rights such as the right to social security, health, and adequate housing. While not a legally binding treaty itself, it is not a legally binding treaty. Its principles are part of legally binding international agreements. India and UNUDHR Hans Mehta, a member of India's Constituent Assembly, is credited with altering all men are born free and equal to all human beings are born free and equal in Article 1 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Now, our next topic is global cooperation and training framework. Here, we should know that US, India, and Taiwan convene a cybersecurity workshop to foster operational expertise and sharing best practices under global cooperation and training framework. GCTF, it was launched by US and Taiwan in 2015 as a platform to utilize Taiwan's strengths and expertise to address global issues. It allows practitioners from around the world to strengthen connections among experts on topics like public health, supply chain, humanitarian assistance, digital health, and other regional issues. Taiwan, United States, Japan, and Australia are its full members. India, not a member of Global Cooperation and Training Framework. India is not its member. Now, let's move to the last discussion of today's class. It is Tax Inspectors Without Borders, TIWB. It was launched. TIWB launched a program in Saint Lucia, and India has been chosen as the partner administration. India will provide tax experts for this program. About Tax Inspectors Without Borders program, it is a joint initiative of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development and the United Nations Development Program. So this line may be asked in the exam, which is uh, it is the initiative of Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development (OECD) and UNDP. We should note that it facilitates the transfer of tax audit knowledge and skills to developing country tax administrations using a practical learning by doing approach. So this was about today's discussion. I don't know how this went. I'm sorry because I have some health issues. I'm not able to explain you these things in that much detail. But whatever is mentioned here, that would be sufficient for you. If any question would be asked related to these topics in the exam, it will give you the broad idea about the topics, and it may help you. It will help you in the exams. So I wish best of you to everyone, and I hope you all succeed in your lives, in your life, and you achieve what your heart desires. Thank you very much. Thanks for staying with me till now.